furious. And as we said, politicians are taking a lot of heat, folks that, stuff's happening. But the reality guy in the White House has sparked an international controversy, que surprise, after retweeting an anti-Muslim video or anti-Muslim videos from a far-right British website, some of which have been debunked as fake. But the White House still defended his actions. Take a look.
It's important to talk about national security and national security threats. Look, again, whether it's a real video, the threat is real, and that is what the president is talking about.
She's got a rough
if it wasn't so tragic, if it wasn't so tragic, it would be funny.
But it's so
insane
that a press secretary would say, it doesn't matter if the video being retweeted to the world to his 60 million followers, 44 million followers is real. It's just about the message behind it. I mean, they always talk about this administration, about the irresponsibility of the media. Well, what about their irresponsibility in that instance?
You know what? You're forgetting one thing about this administration. One thing that people have to remember about Trump and this girl and the rest of them, they have no shame, okay? You cannot negotiate with people who have no shame.
But it's beneath the dignity of the office of the United States presidency.
They don't have shame. It's impossible to get through to them.
There are people.
You act like they're normal people. They're not normal.
There's a guy named Scott Adams that writes about the persuasive nature of the Trump administration, and it gives you an insight into not defending him, but what their strategy might be. Right. I think this is one of the most insightful comments yet by Sarah Huckabee Sanders, because there are often people that say, don't take him.
What do you mean insightful?
She's going to explain
Well, that's what I'm saying, is that not to take it literally. A lot of supporters say, the hyperbole, the exaggeration. The problem is they just admitted that if the message they're pushing is okay, it's okay to be misfactual, like to not be truthful.
Yeah.
And that was the first time you're kind of hearing a term where they're confirming this idea that as long as you're pushing it for the right reason, it doesn't matter if it's literally true. And that's a scary thing to see.
That doesn't play. That doesn't work.
It's very scary because I think, he's clearly retweeted that 3 times. Three different retweets to play to his base, to play to his supporters. And now they're somewhat confused because they don't know what is real and what it isn't, but they follow him. I want to address something you said yesterday, Meghan. You said that I implied that all Trump voters are racist or misogynistic. And
can we put it in context? You said when Hillary won, and it comforts you that she won the popular vote because that means that not everyone is agrees with otherisms, not everyone is racist, not everything. And
no, what I said was I feel better that she won the popular vote because that tells me that the majority of Americans understand that racism is wrong, that otherism is wrong, and that a woman can lead.
Understanding that racism is wrong, I interpret it as saying that they're racist.
Yeah, but let me.
Can I ask you a question?
Wait,
Do you think all Trump supporters are?
Let me finish my thought so that I don't forget it. I think you misunderstood what I said. And if you misunderstood it, then other people out there misunderstood it as well. And my point was very nuanced. And so let me explain the point. I do not think that all Trump voters are racist. And I didn't say that. I have friends, I have family, I have colleagues that voted for Trump. And so I don't think those people are racist. I think they're good people. And I can't see inside people's hearts. But what I will say is Trump ran a campaign on otherism. He ran a campaign about birtherism. He ran a campaign about Muslim bans. He ran a campaign calling your father not really a true war hero because he wasn't captured. Because he was captured. Mexicans are racist. He has a history of housing discrimination against African Americans. The Gold Star families he went against. He says that he can grab women by the vagina. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. So when people hear that and look the other way, and not only look the other way, but vote for him, regardless of their personal motivation, whether it be race, whether it be personal financial gain, I think you're somewhat complicit in that because you don't have to be a racist to allow racism to flourish. You know what I mean? You don't have to be a bigot to enable bigotry. You don't have to be a racist to allow racism to flourish. And so when I said 3 million other people saw what he was talking about, and they didn't look the other way. They decided, I can't support that. And you know what? It does make me feel better at night. And it makes me sleep better at night. That was my point.
Yeah, got it.
Is it clear? Is it clearer now?
I think we view the election. I agree with some of what you're saying. I think that, with all due respect, I spend a lot of time in Red America. I think I understand the Trump voter, and I think to say that they're complicit, there's a lot of people that felt really left behind. I think this election was about poverty. You also said something about Andrew Jackson having a photo in the White House being a siren song or a virtue signal. I don't remember exactly, but something about...
For the viewers that didn't see that, you know, Donald Trump, when he was talking in front of the code talkers, the Navajo Nation, he was doing it in front of a portrait of Andrew Jackson, who was the Indian killer. And he chose to have that portrait in his Oval Office.
And I said it was bad optics, but you said it was a signal. And I think for me, it's like sitting here being like,
well, why
if you have a picture of Andrew Jackson up, that means that you hate Native Americans.
But why him at that particular...
Can I tell you something? It is... I'm trying to explain my people here on the show every day, and it's an intense challenge. It really is. I try very hard every day.
But which are your people?
And
which are your people?
I consider red state people my people.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Hold on.
You didn't vote for Trump.
I did not vote for Trump, but part of it is because of a personal attacks on my father. I couldn't reconcile those two things, but I do think that...
People can't reconcile his racist remarks sometimes.
Why do you think
that are of color?
About the
Wait, hold on. Let us finish.
I'm sorry.
I'm really trying. I try every day to explain Trump and his supporters, and I think that I feel like after Obama's election, I tried very hard to understand why he won, what we weren't doing as Republicans, all these things, and I don't think the same respect is being done to Trump, no matter how much you hate him, and I get it. Trust me, I get how much everybody hates Trump. I understand. But I'm just saying, you are doomed to repeat the same mistakes that you did in 2016 if you think it's only about you're complicit as this voter, you're whatever, and you don't have to listen to me, but I tell you, before I joined the show, I watched your Election Day episode. I was not shocked in the same way that you guys were by Trump's win. I was not surprised.
You weren't wearing a black veil like Joy?
You weren't shocked as well.
But
that's true, you weren't shocked.
Yeah, no, I wasn't shocked. But here's the thing, really, at this point, he is in there. And I will tell you, I don't hate anybody. I really just like him because what he did, he didn't have to do. He didn't have to come in the way he came in. He didn't have to come in swinging like that. Yeah. And it pissed me off. But I will tell you this, and I'll say this before we go. Unless you all, did everybody say what they had to say?
I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure. I'm thinking.
I think it's thinking.
But I also think that, like, a lot of people, no disrespect, and please jump in, Joy. Like, a lot of people hate Mike Pence and Paul Ryan. I had a conversation with him on the train that was like, I don't know who's worse, Trump, Mike Pence, or Paul Ryan. And when you call Bush Hitler, when you call my father Hitler, when you call Mitt Romney Hitler, at a certain point, if you cry wolf long enough, the beast shows up. So I'm sitting here telling you that we have to find some common ground here, and I try every single day, and I feel like I'm failing right now.
You aren't.
No.
Wait. Just everybody hold on. We'll be right back because we're going to finish this. So, we love John McCain.
Thank you.
We do. He sat down for an interview with Esquire, and he would like Hillary Clinton to hush. Because he says he felt it was a mistake for her to write a book so soon after she lost, and that he learned after his loss the hardest thing to do is just shut up. Now, is he right?
With all due respect to your father, and whom I like very much, I think he's wrong. I think a woman's place is in the resistance. The woman won the election.
When we talked to her, I learned a lot from that book, and I know it was probably super cathartic for her to write, and she talked about dealing with it. What I think I could get on board with is if she wrote it, got it out, but then maybe waited to release it so it becomes more historical, because I think the optics of looking at someone that's lost, whether you agree with them, and I voted for her or not, it looks bad when you did not win, and you're already out of the gates talking.
She did win.
But you know, we asked her about that when
she did win.
She won the popular vote.
She won the popular vote. We don't elect presidents of America with the popular vote.
But the numbers are still there.
Does that make you feel good at night? Like, when you're so angry about Trump, does that make you feel better? Because if I were you, it would not make me feel better.
It doesn't.
The electoral
college makes me feel better.
Matter. I mean, the electoral college you live and die by, and I will say, losing the presidency is a unique experience.
I know my civics, Meg.
Oh, because you've experienced running for president. You know what it feels like on election night, Joy.
Listen, I was hit.
She wore a black veil.
I had a black veil on the night that
why are you pointing to me?
I was talking for that. I was telling the audience, calm down.
What my father is saying is the personal experience.
Which is a hot today.
No, I think her point is a valid valid one, because you were up close and personal when your father didn't win the election.
And I've been there on election nights for other candidates who haven't won, and it's deeply sad. And I think when on our election night, we prayed, and then my father told me to buck up. We're the most blessed people in the world. And then he didn't complain about it. And we as a family recognize President Obama as the phenomenon that he was. And whether or not you like it, President Trump is a populist phenomenon in a completely different way. And I think if I were you and I'm part of the resistance, I would look forward to new leadership. Because
I am.
And who?
I just want to say very quickly, I feel better that she won the popular vote, because that tells me that the majority of Americans understand that racism is wrong, that the otherism is wrong, and that a woman can lead.
Thank you.
So it makes me feel more
That's
comfortable.
Right. It makes me feel better about the
2020.